Hi, this is Lorraine, and I'm doing another video. If you'll give me a second to clear, center, and balance my energy, we'll get started. I'm just going to get started sharing the information that's come in this week. March 11th, 2024. Our karma emanates from our energy field. It draws our experience to us. Thus, our energy field acts like a magnet. The karma encoded in our DNA, our consciousness, our energy field, directs the magnet to draw to us the experiences we are meant to encounter or undergo in that moment. Okay. Every encounter or experience results in a consequence, which in turn prompts a situation. Okay, so I, in a previous career, was a special educator. I used to teach kids with special needs. And working with kids with more significant disabilities, a lot of the times requires us to work with behavior issues, okay, or challenges that they're having. And a lot of that has to do with processing. Okay, how do they process information? But at the root, when I'm working with behavior, and I was trained in working with behavior, we have this process of ABC, antecedent, behavior, consequence. So for every behavior that we're addressing, there is an antecedent, there is a trigger, there is something that creates or causes the behavior. And then after every behavior, there's a consequence, there's a result, which is positive or negative. Okay. And what I realized when all this information was coming in about karma is that is how karma works. Okay, we are presented with a situation. We have a choice to make on how we respond to that situation. So that's our behavior. And the consequence is either positive or negative, right? And this is the root of a dual universe, right? We can respond in a healthy manner or an unhealthy manner. We can respond from a balanced place or an unbalanced place, right? So we have a situation presented to us, which would be an antecedent. We respond to that. That's our behavior. And the consequence is the result of that behavior. Okay, and this is the cycle of karma. This is the cycle of lifetimes. Okay, this is the cycle of this existence, essentially, right? At its root, at the foundation. But at the root, there is always an antecedent. There's always something we're presented with. There's always a choice to be made. That's our behavior. And then there's always a result of that choice. Okay? These cycles, so this ABC, let's just call it this ABC process, this process of a situation, a choice, and then a result. These are cycles. What came to me is these are cycles. These cycles can last a moment, a year, a decade. They can last across lifetimes, and they are rooted in karma, which is encoded in our DNA. Okay? Our DNA is encoded with the information that creates the circumstances that we are addressing in every moment, in every lifetime. Okay? And so there was a question posed to me about co-creation, which I thought was a very good question. I really appreciated it because it made me think and consider what is meant with this word co-creation, when we use the word co-creation. It's not a term I use, but I hear it a lot. And so co-creating is defined as creating with one or more individuals, but I added energies or consciousnesses because we're transcending and we're working from a different place now. So it's not just the perception of another individual. We are working with other energies and other consciousnesses, okay? And so when you say the word co-create, you are saying, I'm creating with another, okay? That's what that is at the root. You're creating with someone else, okay? And so at some point in our transcendence, at some point in our discovery of who we are and what we're here for, we will realize that everything before us, everything we're presented with, from people, from flowers, animals, soil, everything that we are presented with is a reflection of us. It's a reflection of who we are, okay? And soil can be healthy or unhealthy, right? Same thing with rocks or plants or animals or people, right? Everything in this, not only in this world, but this universe is a reflection of us, okay? Planets, individuals on those planets, life on those planets, energy on those planets, not just Earth, every planet in this universe, every sun, everything in this universe is a reflection of who we are. It's a reflection of us, okay? Me or you, all right? However you want to see it. You are a reflection of me, okay? You're a reflection of part of me, something within me, okay? And when we start to understand that and receive that and accept it, we understand, we see, we accept that we are the creator. Okay, we are the creator. I am the creator. Okay? And so whether you perceive yourself as co-creating or just creating is a indication of where you are in your transcendence, in your evolution. Because if we perceive ourselves as co-creating, we see ourselves as separate from someone else, okay, or something else, or anything else. We see ourselves as separate. Because co-creating is creating with one or more individuals. But when we understand that this universe is a reflection of us, of me, right, or of you, then I understand, or I know, that everything is a reflection of me. Everything created, everything in existence is a reflection of me. So if I see soil that is unhealthy, it won't grow anything in it, that is a reflection of some part of me being manifested on this plane of existence. If I see beautiful, healthy soil, rich in nutrients, that's ready to receive seeds to grow, to create life from, that is a reflection of some part of me, okay, of my consciousness. Same thing with people that I see in my life, that come across me, that engage me. They are a reflection of some part of me, okay? So I am creating every moment, every breath, every thought, every millisecond of my existence. That is what I see, that is what I feel, and that is what I know. Okay? Okay. March 13th, 2024. I had an epiphany about the yin yang vision. The hard and fast lines of duality are softening and blending. An awareness of this truth, the observation of such a thing, is an indication of an elevated consciousness. So when I was watching, having that vision, and I'll do the picture-in-picture just to remind people, and I saw the colors, the black and white of that yin yang symbol start to spin and meld and blend together. I understood that I was coming to the understanding that these lines of duality, of balanced and unbalanced, or left and right, or black and white, are blending, and they are merging, and that is an indication of moving towards unity, okay? Reconciling itself, okay? Me reconciling myself in unity, as unity, okay? And that is a process that we all go through, okay? We will all go through that process of understanding this reconciliation of duality within us, in our physical bodies, in our world, and then in our consciousnesses, or in our consciousnesses, in our physical body, in our world, okay? Whatever we reconcile and understand in our consciousness will begin to manifest on this plane of existence, okay? So I'm not sure what date the 13th was, but I was looking out what day of the week the 13th was, but I was looking out my window, and there's a lot of construction outside, and there's this silver disc. It's about 4 feet in diameter, and I look out at it every day because it's almost directly across from my windows here. And I was like, that is so peculiar. And I was having a conversation with my daughter, and I was like, there's something not right in the building next door. I could, in the back, the building in the back that's being built, I didn't feel this way, but the one next door, there's something not right, okay? And as I was looking out at that silver disc, I heard resonator. And as soon as I heard resonator, all this information started coming in. And so I'm not sure if I took notes or if I actually wrote stuff down, but I'm just going to keep going. I heard resonator, and then the next thing that came to me was amplifier, and then I saw in my mind's eye 5G, and then the next thing I saw was when Goode was on Cosmic Disclosure. He talked about going into the inner earth and the Anshar, and he went into a room when he was with them, and there were all these chairs, and they looked like egg-shaped. The drawings that they had that he described, I guess they had an artist kind of recreate the chairs, and the people in those chairs, they were like egg-shaped. And I will try to find an example and do a picture-in-picture, but there are people sitting in there. And what he said, that the lady, whose name I can't remember right now, from the Anshar told him, was that they are working as a collective to help shift the planet to a better place, or something like that. It was something along those lines. They were doing good, right? And so when I saw the resonator, the amplifier, and then those chairs, a very clear message came in. The message was, there are people in chairs or in connected electronically to some type of machine. And again, they showed me those chairs, so I feel very strongly that that was a very real depiction of how it is. Or what's going on. So I see people sitting in these egg-shaped chairs. They're connected through some type of amplifier within the chair that will amplify their consciousness out into the collective. And then they have amplifiers on the planet. And again, I saw 5G. that project those thoughts across the planet, and then these resonators, these silver discs, direct and relay the information. Okay, and then as I'm receiving this information, I remember someone I met in the past, someone I know, a friend, I'll say, he's a friend. He had posted something about a meme, like when things that you're thinking are showing up in your feed, right? It was like, what's that about, right? How does that work? He didn't actually say that, but he was like, yeah, like, right? When things you thought that you've never actually said show up in your feed, what is that? In your social media feed, right? And so the message that came in is these thoughts are being projected, out. So those thoughts did not initiate from his consciousness, okay? Those thoughts are being projected out through these amplifiers and relayed through these resonators to our consciousnesses, and we are manifesting those things through our consciousnesses without even knowing it, okay, through our subconscious. All right, so this is all done on a very subconscious level, right, a theta state. And so these individuals, they're placed in rooms or in spaces, all in strategic places throughout the planet, and they are projecting thoughts which are being amplified and relayed to the whole of humanity, not just to people in the United States, but the whole of humanity. And this is a tool. Now, this is not meant to put fear in anybody. This is not meant to instill fear in anybody in any way. Not at all. Information helps people, helps me to understand what I need to do to protect my energy field, right? And so I'm not meaning to instill fear. Tapping into your intuition and discernment are your most powerful tools right now. And so another thing that happened was I was sitting and watching a TV show that I like, right? It's okay. I don't want to say I like it, but I was drawn to it, okay? And I was watching it. And there's a scene where one of the characters goes, there's going to be, an alien invasion, right? And then I got goosebumps up and down my arm. So goosebumps are always an affirmation. When I'm doing readings or whatever, or walking through life and experience something, when I get goosebumps, it's always an affirmation. So I'm watching this show, and it says, the character says, there's going to be an alien invasion, that these aliens want to take over this planet, right? And when I got the goosebumps, I was like, no, that is total nonsense. Absolutely not. 0% chance of that happening. It was so clear that was a manipulation, trying to manipulate my energy field, trying to manipulate the information that's coming into me, right? I knew it immediately. And so maintaining clear, centered, and balanced energy, maintaining my connection to my inner divinity, and discerning that information that comes in, that's my greatest tool. That was an absolute manipulation. So again, I'm not telling you this to instill fear. I'm telling you this to empower you, okay? My connection, the connection that I've created and solidified and fortified, is the most important tool that I have right now. It's the most important tool that we all have. And I work diligently on maintaining that connection all the time and protecting my field, okay? And I do that through my actions. I don't even have to really think about protecting my field anymore, because I always work towards treating people with respect and kindness and unconditional love. I set clear boundaries with people who tend to have unhealthy behaviors, and I don't judge. I allow people to be who they are. I don't criticize. I allow people to be who they are, but I set very clear boundaries. All right, I'm always working to that end. And whenever I have thoughts that where I'm frustrated or angry, I acknowledge those thoughts and I release them. I release them. It is my discipline and my practice, and I'm doing it all the time. Okay? And so this is what I do, and this is what works for me. And this is one of the reasons why I encourage people to find their own way. What is clearing, centering, and balancing your energy to you? Okay? How do you maintain that balance? Okay? Whatever resonates with you, that is what you should do. Okay? I'm not dictating anything about what you need to do or how you need to do it. I convey messages. I share the information that comes to me because that's what I'm guided to do. And this is about my spiritual journey, so I share that also. If that can in any way help people, I'm happy to do that. But this is very important, okay? This is very important. It's very important for you to find your way. It's very important for you not to be thinking to yourself, oh, I like what that person is going to say. I'm going to follow them. I'm going to do what they're doing. I think it's okay to take pieces of what everybody's doing, listen to what people have to say, find what resonates with you and use that. Because what's going to happen is that's going to grow and change to be something that is yours, okay? So I'm not saying don't listen to other people. I'm not saying don't honor other people and what they've been through and what they're going through and what they offer you. But it's most important to discern what works for you, okay? And then you will embody that and it will become yours. So I'm just going to repeat what I've said in the past. I took a class. It was called a Psychic 1 class, and what it was essentially was just a class that told me what the clairs were, and we did a guided meditation. That was it. And so from that point, I followed that direction, and then all the information I got from that class, I transmuted into something that worked for me. Okay? And so I'm not going to say that what other people have to say don't have value, because that's not true. But what you have to do is work with that information and make it yours. Okay? What has value? What can I use? And then release everything else. Work from that place and then allow it to become yours. Okay? So I'm just going to read what I have in here really quick, or see what it says. Oh, the line in the show said, an evil race wants to take over Earth. And the reason why I know that's untrue is because that's not Earth's trajectory. I know it. I can feel it in every fiber of my being. And if there is any information that comes out about that, I think they call them false flag events or false flag something, that's a manipulation. Okay? Any information about, oh, evil races are going to try to take us over, that isn't to instill fear in us. That would be considered a false flag event. Okay? That's what I've heard, actually. But what I do know is that's untrue. Right now we have incredible support from the universe energetically, and even like physically. I can feel that there are energies outside of our planet, in space, let's just say, in our solar system, that are supporting us, like, strongly. I feel that very strong. But they're not going to come onto this planet. They're not going to come onto this planet until they're invited. They're not going to come onto this planet until they're invited by the person who's meant to invite them. Okay? There's going to be a very clear person that will step forward, who will be the bridge between our reality, thinking that there's no other beings in the universe, to this new reality of welcoming in a galactic community. Okay? And then I have notes. Many worlds would love to take over Earth. We are master manifestors in this universe. we had to master this emotional body. Our gift for our endurance and commitment is the privilege of creating beauty, peace, unconditional love from a balanced place here on earth, then expanding that energy across the universe. There are beings, energies, worlds who would love to bastardize our gift to perpetuate separation. They will not prevail. They will not succeed. Oh, okay, so I'm reading over the notes that I have about the vision I told you about, or that epiphany, that information, those messages that came in about the resonator, the amplifier, and the chairs, right? And then here in my notes I said Michael Jaco came in, and I could hear him talking. So I could hear him talking about remote viewing and remote influencing. So remote viewers can not only just remote view and look at different places on the planet, but they can influence other people and other things on the planet. And so that was really important when I was getting that information about the chairs, the amplifiers, and the resonators, okay? So I'm going to just review. I have a note here that says the culminating message, and so I'm just going to read that just in case I missed anything. There are people sitting in chairs in strategic locations on the planet, projecting thoughts into the collective of humanity, which are being amplified and resonate, and the resonators are directing and relaying those messages. I have a relay resonator less than 20 feet from my window. Okay. The 5G towers amplifies, and the new constructions are housing the resonators and the relays. The unbalanced energy on this planet does not want to tap into source energy to create this change. If they open themselves up to negativity, they are opening themselves to positivity. Working from the material plane, 3D, maintains the idea of control and separation. This is the lie they tell themselves and are attempting to convince us is truth. So I talked about in a previous video how when unity created duality, when unity separated itself, the creator of all things, God, however you want to see it, separated itself in duality. It created good and bad, light and dark, left and right, balanced and unbalanced, okay? And so unity embodies both sides. Unity embodies the dark as well as the light, okay? And so this unbalanced energy is trying not to tap into that energy, because like I said in that video, I think it was 1 or 2 videos ago, like I said in that video, when they tap into source energy, they're tapping into both positive and negative. And that's when angels, guides, whatever, tried to come in and influence them and open them up to returning to center. They don't want to have anything redirect them away from what they're trying to do, right? So they are disconnecting themselves or trying to reject that energy, okay, that source energy, whether it's from a positive or a negative place, okay? And what they're doing is they're just trying to do it from this plane of existence. So creating physical chairs with some type of mechanical system in it that projects thought, okay? By creating an amplifier, a physical amplifier, an antenna, okay? A 3D antenna. By creating a 3D resonator to project that energy, just like a radio projects music across sound waves, right? By doing that, they're working on the 3D, from the 3D plane of existence, from this material plane of existence. And I've said many times in the past, the only lasting change happens in the higher realms, happens in the higher levels of consciousness. Anything from this 3D plane is temporary, okay? It's temporary. Change happens in the higher levels, in the higher realms, from the higher levels of consciousness. So lasting change does not occur in the 3D. It's temporary and a precursor for a tower moment. And what when you disconnect or try to disconnect yourself from that energy, that source energy, it's like trying to build a table with only 3 legs. Okay, when you're missing a leg, it's very shaky foundation. Okay, and so it's begging for a tower moment. Okay, a moment where everything comes crashing down. Okay, but the thing about tower moments is that when things come to an end, that means you're open to a new beginning, right? You can start building from a new place and create a solid foundation. Okay, everything experienced in the higher realms, everything experienced or learned in the higher realms must be grounded in this reality. Okay, so there's 2 things that came in clearly while I was talking to you that I needed to talk about. And first, when I was laying on my couch, I would say about 2 weeks ago, I was just taking a nap. I was just resting. And I came out of that sleep or rest, and I felt my whole chest just open up. And it was opening up into a void. And it was the shape, it was an almond shape like this. And I could feel it just open up. And it was unsettling. It wasn't scary to me. It was like, when I was younger, I had a lot of anxiety about getting up in front of people and talking, and so that feeling, those butterflies of knowing I have to get up and speak to someone, that's what it felt like. It was like, what is happening? And I had those butterflies, and so maybe a little bit of fear, but was with that. But in a second, it didn't last very long, I was like, my heart's opening up. It was so clear, my heart's opening up, but I could feel it. And then I looked, and there was like a void. So it was the shape of an eye, and there was a void, and there was nothing. It was just black. It was a void. And it was very emotional. It was very emotional. But what the clear message was is, we're opening your heart. Okay? Or you're opening your heart. Or your heart has been opened. Okay, your heart has been opened. And it was just like this vast void. And that came in just now, right before I started talking about it, that I needed to talk about that. And the other thing is, at the beginning of the video, this is a dragon year, if I'm not mistaken, in the Chinese astrology. And so at the beginning of the video, I just saw this dragon just come in, and it grabs me. It just kind of picks me up, and it puts me on its back, and it's black. And I'm like, what is happening? It was just very, I don't know, it was just strange, I guess. I guess all the visions I get sometimes are strange. I'm like, because I'm always like, what's happening? What's coming in? What's it going to be this time? And so I'm getting on his back, or I'm sitting on his back, and I'm getting ready. We're taking off. We're not on the planet. We're just in a void. And all of a sudden I start hearing Astarte, Melusine, Diana, Ceridwen, Aaronrod, all these goddesses from the charge of the goddess, the names in the charges of the goddess. And they start lining up, and they're all on dragons. And the one, I want to say Aaronrod, she comes in and she flies by me, and she's waving at me. She's like, come on, let's go. What are you waiting for? And I'm looking around thinking to myself, what is happening? She's like, let's go. And so it was very emotional when I was having that experience. And then I saw I'm like, well, if these are the fields, where are the keys and codes? So all the keys and codes started coming in. The unicorns started coming in, and Pegasus also came in. And they start running around us and coming behind us, and we're flying out on the dragons. and the unicorns are coming and are around us, right? And so what that's telling me is we are the fields. We are in control of the fields, and we have access to all the keys and codes, okay? And the feeling that came in very strong is there is a massive, the change is coming, okay? This change is coming. And also Aaron Rod was in battle gear, so I want to say the armor of God. Okay, she's wearing the armor of God, ready to go into battle. And this isn't a physical battle with weapons. This is an energetic shift. So we are shifting the energy. Okay. The other thing that came in is a vision I had that I felt like I needed to talk about, and it just came in again. I almost forgot about it. This vision came in 2019. Is when I first moved into this apartment, and it seems like 2019 is coming up a lot in this video right now. But I was on my bed asleep, and in the middle of the night I woke up, and at the foot of my bed, standing, if he was standing on my bed, he would have been standing on the foot of my bed. There's a man. He was black, and he had white hair, white afro, and then a white, about, I would say 2 inches, and then white beard, white mustache. He had a white robe on, and then it was green. It was a really pretty, like lime green moving into a forest green. So it had a lot of yellow in it. And then what I'm seeing now is it had gold edging on the sleeve. So he had a white like tunic on, and then with a this green like vest over it, but it was full length. I know there's a term for them, I don't know what it is off the top of my head. And then on the edges around the arms and down the front, along where it kind of comes together, was gold, like leafing, some type of gold brocade or something like that going down on the trim. That's the word I want. And in the vision, he just stood in front of me like this, and he was holding a white dove. And he just stood there. He didn't say anything, and I was just laying in bed, and I just stood there and looked at him, and the dove to me represents freedom, right? We are on the cusp of freedom. Okay, that's the message. So it's really important that I guess I sent all 3 of those messages right now. Opening up the heart, creating change from the heart, from the higher realms. The dragons, the fields, the keys and codes are accessible now to those who are working towards the greater good, and we will be finding freedom. We will be achieving freedom. There was another vision that came in, it just came in and went out, and I lost it. Hold on. Oh, the other vision I had, my daughter and I were working with energy last night. I was clearing her energy. We always do like a prayer. I guess you would call it prayer or meditation before bed. And when I was doing that, so I've been normally seeing this pool, like the yin yang. I was telling you about that vision. I'll put the picture up again. But that pool I've been working with for quite a while now. And it is a Fibonacci spiral, and that's the foundation of creation. So I've been working in the higher realms with creating, right? Shifting. And last night, the vision I had was grounding. So I don't see the pool. I wasn't seeing the pool. I'm like, wow, that's weird. I see the pool every single night, and we just work on creating and manifesting. And change on this planet from a beautiful place. But where's the pool? And the strong message came in as I saw the Fibonacci spiral coming down this way, and it's like all this, I don't know, it reminded me of a movie with CGI where all the buildings are coming into all the infrastructure is coming into this Fibonacci spiral and then being spewed out of the bottom of the Fibonacci spiral, like across the planet. So that vision told me that all the work we've been doing in the higher realms is now being manifested on this plane of existence. Okay, it's being manifested in this plane of existence, on this plane of existence, and it's not the building next door or the building behind me. That's not what it is. It's not. So I know there's certain changes being made right now as things start to crumble or come apart. The infrastructure is being laid for this world will be now. But the clear message was that almost nothing that's here is going to be usable, and that all this new stuff is coming in to create a new world for us. And even as I say that, I'm getting information that when these beings from these other worlds are called in from this person who is from Earth, this person was born on Earth, they are an earthling, okay? When that person, we will have a lot of support in rebuilding our infrastructure. But that rebuilding is going to come from us. What happens, it comes from us, okay? We are the creators on this world. I am the creator, okay? All right. Give me a second. So, I feel like there's a lot of information. I feel like it might be a little disjointed, but it was supposed to come in this way. And Aaron Rod, she's sometimes when these energies come in, I think they come in a way that I relate to, but she's pretty amazing. She just came in really strong with a lot of support. So I just wanted to share that and say thank you.